Fáilte rás go háit a gael támuid ag gobar le fáilte Ireland le léirgus nua a thuirtaíomh Éireann. Keep discovering one short break at a time.
Well, it's October and the countdown to Iahauna is on.
Mars Oldíomh Éire is the home of Halloween.
It sure is, Darren. And this Jerifor, we're encouraging you to rediscover Halloween's true origins, Samhain, and experience its rich, immersive season.
Saran 360, it's not just one night of costumes and treats, Colony.
Absolutely not. There are so many things to see and do all over the country. Did somebody say 7 homes of Halloween hubs?
Go on, Louise, take out my coat there. I'm going to write these ones down.
So there's Galway City, Meath and Louth, Longford and Westmeath. There's Kerry, Fingal in County Dublin, Limnock, Kilcannig. Each hub offers an authentic celebration of Samhain here in Ireland, where it all began.
Thank you, Arthur. From Mockness to Halloween Howl to the Puka Festival and beyond, every corner of Éire comes alive with ancient energy and celebration at this time of year.
And it's not just music and mischief. There is so much more to enjoy, from food festivals like Savour in Kilkenny and Listowel Food Fair in Kerry to storytelling events and Samhain workshops Fud Fod na Tíre.
There is so much to see and do. Visit discoverireland.ie for some inspiration and plan your home of Halloween trip and figure out what's going on this Samhain season.
Sinead, Cuinnegarh ag draíocht an Éireann. Colleen, did you know if you're aged between 25 and 65, well, you can get a free HPV cervical check. It's one of the best ways to protect yourself from cervical cancer.
And you know what? I actually checked only recently when mine was due, and no exaggeration, it took me less than 5 minutes.
Go on, Miss To-Do List.
That's me.
Well, can I show you, Darren, just how easy it is, right?
Okay.
You open your phone, you go online to hse.ie/cervical check, put in your PPS number, stick in the date of birth, and then they tell you when your next appointment is due.
Oh my God,
I
that's
know.
unreal.
And you can check you're on the register on the website, or you can phone 1-800 45 45 55.
Do you know, that is so straightforward, but we tend to put these things on the long finger.
We do. And it is worth saying, girls, even if you've had a normal screening test, you just shouldn't ever ignore the signs of cervical cancer, such as bleeding in between your periods or bleeding after sex. Call your GP right now if that's the case.
Yeah, 8 le the curp. Listen to your body. You know it better than anyone. Empower yourself.
If your test is due today, you can book it today or hse.ie/cervical check.
Did you know that giveblood.ie needs 3,000 blood donors each week?
Wow. So like now, imagine if the How to Gael community rolled up their sleeves. Like my little joke there.
Anna Chalista Shíomha. Do you know what? Bheadh sin do chreide, especially when you consider that 1 in 4 people will need a blood transfusion once in their life.
So, conquer Fredo Yana version, Louise.
Well, it's very simple. You can visit giveblood.ie to check your eligibility. You can book a slot, and it really is that straightforward.
Cash on a word, them say. Are we make up on Tain and Eek?
Girl, might even get a briska. No, seriously, the most important thing to remember is that blood donors do save lives.
You can check your eligibility at giveblood.ie.
Díomh chuirde agus fáilte rás go How to Gael Lumps Louise.
Agus lumps Shíomha.
Níl Darren Lynn on tachlanse ag beg sí Lynn go lua.
Yes, tá she talked to Rosh.
Yeah, tá.
Buzzing.
Yeah, absolutely buzzing. Listen, tá si go das fan sa a rás ríist in our studio nua.
Studio nua. Bite of brain there studio. Well, no, ní bite of brain there studio. Ní bite of reef brain than studio nua.
No,
tá she go cozy. Tá she
Yeah.
like girlie. Tá she chuck torna-y. Tá she
vintagey, Shannaray. Like
Chic.
actually, shot mo chéadúr ar an trón seo. It's Branham. Do you know what I think I really like? Is a high back on a seat. There's something lovely about the.
my God.
Do you know what I mean? They're like.
Can't fucking eat you.
But I like.
Can't
I like.
eat
Do you know what I like now? If I have to go all in here now in an armchair, like review, I would say I like a nice elbow to finger space there, and I love that my head is back and I'm just my face like there's a good bit of. I'm well more on spas.
No,
nearly.
Yeah. Carry on focusing. What's it called? What are chairs that are ergonomics?
No,
ergonomics.
we do absolutely nothing for me now.
Are we going to go how to be ergonomically correct?
I don't want anything ergonomic. It still needs to be like steel, you know, like feachir go alling is thought like she velvet for God's sake. But look at this embroidered and a bit of what do you call these? Studded embroidered.
Okay, so you want an ergonomically
no, nothing ergonomic.
Physically ergonomic.
No, just
visually aesthetic.
Why are you bringing ergonomicy into this?
Because you're like talking about a high back agus takeíocht don dream agus hatú fucking sna truckedy.
But you know what is an asana of now that I would like is a little puffy and beag so. Like I'd like Rod Agant, the Machosa.
Ciara Kelly, set designer, Matatu Gaistock, so Louise needs a poof.
A poof. Do you know that I once drove to Wicklow to buy a poof on Dundeel?
So first a piano, now a poof.
Yeah, well, this was for though. It was €60, lads. This, I'll tell you now about a good little bit of haggling I did. And there was a woman who had bought a brand new corner sofa for her house, and it was row over, so she couldn't fit the poof. So she was trying to like free to good home it. Oh. And I was like, if I'm driving from Limerick, like,
okay, not
Wicklow, can you do me a deal? She said, €20. Met her on the motorway. She came down against me. Imagine we were on the side of the road, like transferring over the puff into the boot. So she supposed to come?
Meet a woman bit of poof.
But on road, no. Like, if he cost us €3 there, they can do a poof shin. Got it for €50 on the side of the road.
August, will she post August?
Huh?
Will she post a new side?
Huh?
Okay.
Tell you what, do you know what? I could bring it up in here, only that I'm very attached to it.
I'd be attached to a poof as well. Do you know what? I think Shin Rodaigan to knock will in new side to go in and lay into Shaw is a good poof.
Now,
bring back poofs. Bring back poofs.
Well, I don't think they went anywhere for a lot of people. There's a certain poof that I don't. If you come at me with a small little circular one that you couldn't get the 2 feet on at the same time, I don't want to see it.
Oh yeah.
And it also needs to be firm enough. Like, I don't want to really
back to ergonomics. An ergonomic poof.
Maybe I'm okay. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't want one that you put your feet on, they sink all the way in.
No, and
no good in
and ain't ní málam ar nach bhfuil go and spás an gá cos, you know?
Yeah, like those little circly things. Like, what are you doing with that? Like, are you putting one foot up? Like, are you Gertha? Do you know what I mean? Like, no, I want a rectangular poof. If I was designing a poof to match this chair, have I gone off piece?
Right, Siggy Shear Corda,
I would like it to be the same width as the same width and length as the cushion under my throne, and I would just like that to be out there, and I would go, and that would be it there.
Well, according to while it is soon. What do we think about poofs? I will poof august. I will poof at the hokey. Poofs.
Poof. How many times can you say it? It sounds like a derogatory term.
Oh Jesus! Now it's a slur. Okay, a book of rye.
What else? Does anyone call it a footrest? What's the other word for it?
It's poof.
No, a fucking ottoman or something.
Oh no, I don't think that's an ottoman.
What's the?
Oh, go get a poof.
Footrest. No, footrest. No. There's a fuckalella, lads. If you know it.
Taka cuishe.
Oh, taka cuishe.
Glúiste seachtaine, orna, cur glúiste seachtaine, taka cuishe. Don't get a hold of them are modern now, Aisha show, right? So tá like Don a her Cahalin a rare. And tá Alexa fight go in Ladani, right? I know like definitely in H Gachna Ella, but we've gotten an Alexa recently and loving
Alexa,
it.
Alexa, play Baby Shark.
No, it's Alexa play RT Radio 1 Fui her, right?
Oh.
But and then we're also using it as the shopping list. And Coola may call Nira Misha on side, but Coola may call Shgradil Shias and Slayer and Chakashkata. Alexa, add shaving foam to the shopping list. I was like, deadly. Oh my god, he's great. And then we her Catholic Phonics Lynn rare, and so we brick fast dog in our modern. And
by the way, of course, Cathal was adding shaving foam.
He goes through the fucking fierce rate, lads. Bald men need shaving foam, okay? And for me, Lara and Alexa, because we her Catholic, what are you doing? I was like, oh, this is our Alexa. She's great. I was like, she had a shopping list. I was like, I'll show you. Alexa, what's on the shopping list? Carl starts pissing himself laughing. On your shopping list, you have shaving foam, lube, a strap-on, a vibrator.
No.
And Carl's there like crying. I'm like, why didn't you stop it? Like, you knew this was coming. I saw the hour.
Sorry, why are they all on your shopping list?
He did it to be funny, like lumpsa, but like it fucking played oh score our fucking call. This is like I feel like this is something that would have been funny, like shocked me, you know, when Alexa fucking first came out, not like in fifth gooing when like we've moved on with technology, but my husband hasn't. So now luckily like Carl was literally a queena, like lose a husband. I was like, why didn't you stop it? Like, he is gonna go to talk. Luckily Carl's dad was like, I didn't hear a thing it said. So luckily we were grand.
It's such like boys' humour. It's like someone in class robbing your copy and running boobs on it or something. Do you know, it's like. But anyway, go on, Carl's dad. He probably was, I'd say, dying inside, wasn't he?
He either didn't hear it or pretended very kindly not to hear it. So Gurma got that her call question.
Well,
I was mortified.
It's nice to know what the essentials in the
maybe that was Carl's actual shopping list. I don't know. You know, maybe like is Valentine's Day coming up? Maybe he was looking to surprise me. I don't know.
He needs all the bits and pieces. Once he's shaving foam and his lube and the strap on, Cathal is set. No puff needed. Anyway, right, cúpla rud le rá going benwood bio in Olive ag Dara an Tachtan show. We're excited more leis. We're going to be playing, if you don't mind, headlining. Can I say we're headlining?
Yeah, we're doing Friday and Saturday night. I believe that's a headline.
Yeah, we're headlining the Galway Comedy Fest. Just isolate that clip. We're headlining the Galway Comedy Fest 2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
I suppose we're in our comedy here an hour, we gas.
Just don't bring up the poof. All right, let's just leave
no,
that.
I know it'd be. Do you know what? I wouldn't have room in the boot. That was a joke. Was that? Did you
Gag,
see? For
gag.
more of the same,
Sure,
join us Friday.
Yeah, Sean can stuff go fail of exulesh own stacha. So Fallas Theatre in Gáilibh Aaron gcloisfidh is in gcloisfidh.
Sorry, would it be taking a joke too far to actually bring the puff though and bring it on? No, it would be probably too far with it.
Is it a puff or a poof now? I thought we were a poof.
Poof. Yeah, okay, go on now, Lanners. Come join us, lads. I think we'll couple of ticket votes or fall.
Yeah, tá round ticket votes are fall on the Galway Comedy Festival site, and we have some amazing guests. We have Aoife Dunn, Ina, as for sure, and we have our very own Hugh Carr, us Ronna Ferste, 2FM's newest radio presenter. Oh, there'll be a bit of competition ar an Ordawn now. Radio presenters at dawn.
Yeah.
Agus Bob Glare Low, and yeah, Masilga Morlash. So it's Exulga back in my down shift.
Absolutely. Agus they're in Eshkataris. She's going to be flying in from Nua Arak. I tell you, it's a rock and roll lifestyle.
She is rock and roll.
She is rock and roll. She is Irish rock and roll. She is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Erin Notashin, let's remind you also to follow us on Instagram and TikTok if you don't mind. Drop us an owl follow. Or, you know what, comment and review or a little review. I'd like a full review of this episode. Yeah, leave us a review and a few rails. We'd love that as well.
Yeah. There now we come on our Patreon. We have gone full video, done bonus ep, so you get even more if you're on our Patreon now. So feckin' with Shiv, Gach Dirty in our Patreon for our bonus weekly ep.
Yeah, be there or be a puff. Now,
no, you cannot say that.
I was going to say be square.
Yeah, well, say square.
My puff is square.
No, puff
it's actually more rectangular. What? It's the thing you put your feet on, Shiva.
No, it's poof.
I say puff. In Limerick we say puff.
Okay, tell us in the comments. Puff or poof?
Poof. You
sound like Sean McNally.
Poof.
Okay.
Ar epna seachtainna tá í speisialta linn si bhí raibh tú linn nor bhí mar ag tafod, but I know that you're going to enjoy this so much. It is a little bit woo-woo, but look, when the cat's away, the mice will play.
Sinna go dtír. But actually, Lana ar man who shield agus tá mé héisbheith á leanúint ar fanna blianta, so I'm delighted go worship Deis Leirley.
Absolutely, she's done it all from lifestyle blogging to fashion. She is now entering a different era of her career, and she spoke to us all about it. You might know her as TarMarz online. Tara Marzuki is our guest this week.
Well, Chorda, Tamid Anna excited because TarMarz is with us live in studio. Woo! And no, I've been following you for fucking ages, Tara, and I've been mad to I love all of the work that you do. You're a witchy girl, and you're with two witchy girls.
Yes.
And it's gas. Shiva's not here. We feel like it's nearly like the universe, because she kind of brings us down to earth when we go a bit delulu, and we're like, oh my god, it's a sign.
It's like our hall pass to be like, now we can go for this.
Yeah.
So you also need the grounded presence though.
Oh, totally.
She probably brings that to the group.
Oh no, totally. If it wasn't for her, I'd be like,
everyone
oh my god,
yeah,
I just saw a bird fly by. That means I should,
UFOs, guys. UFOs.
No, yeah, no, absolutely. But look, does that mean we're going to lean into the witchiness here now? And then we'll ask her what. Actually, we'll check in with her then in the next episode after she's listened to this and see.
We'll try and pleasantly surprise her.
Okay, good. Right. So this is our mission. We're going to convince Shiva of the many theories that you champion, but one of them being I'll let you introduce yourself first and then I'll come back to that. Actually, it was probably a better idea, isn't it?
Well, yeah, for anyone that doesn't know me, which I'm sure there's lots of people there, I will say my Irish atrocious.
Nobby boy, girl.
Cúpla focal somewhere in McKeown, but other than that, I don't know. I think like the Irish thing, it's like, I don't know if I'm like feel shame from school that I can't speak it very well. So I do apologise to your viewers. You're going to have to carry that for me.
Oh my God, Shinga bra.
But yeah.
It took me to Ashtrigga Shin, the shame thing, because we deal with that.
Yeah, you're definitely not alone.
I think it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. We'll come back to that. Introduce yourself for douche.
Yes, so I've been vlogging online girlie for a very, very long time. And then I moved to New York, did it over there, and then I've recently just come back to Ireland in the last year and a half. So I've been always doing the content thing since the beginning for about, I want to say 12 years.
Wow.
So OG gal. But then I'm just one of those gals. I'm always doing like 20 different things. So I'm also now someone that does hypnotherapy, and God, what else do? I have a product, so I own a business. So God. And then, and also I run events now. So I run these kind of like modern mystic nights. So I kind of get gals together and just, for an evening of open-minded conversation, sharing wisdom. And I feel like everything I do is kind of connected now, which is nice.
So it all started for you with fashion content creation, though.
Yes.
So it's been like, it has been a journey from the fashion to the witchy woo.
Definitely. And I feel like a lot of people are going on this journey now of kind of just when you get to this age, you are sort of finding more holistic ways of living, and you're like almost just remembering aspects of yourself that you may have been interested in more as a child, but then you kind of dropped it in your 20s. I don't know. So I still love my fashion bits, still love my makeup-y bits, but definitely, have been trying to find like the bigger meaning in life and all of those things as well.
Well, first of all, you're a massive ride. We should get that out of the way. No, you beautiful.
These girls here, oh my God.
Both picture. Yeah, no, you are. No, gorgeous. And actually, it's funny you say that.
It's the light, guys. It's the lighting is incredible.
No, it's not. She is that good looking in real life as well. But it's interesting you say that people are going on that trip because, in fairness, right, when we started the podcast, we'd be talking about witchy stuff. Shiva was probably more of a skeptic, but now actually, we probably wronged her there because she is more leaning into it, especially, I suppose, going on her journey of like motherhood and things. So that's it's contagious. It's catching.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, being pregnant is like a spiritual awakening in itself.
Yeah.
All these things. So, yeah, I feel like, you know what I feel like is happening? You know, the way our mammies be finding God, like in their 50s and their 60s.
Yes.
And they get more into the prayers and things like that. I think that's happening to our generation, but maybe just in a different way.
Well, now Louise is flat out praying all the time, famously.
They give me an awful time. I love a prayer.
Yeah.
I like an out prayer. I do.
Yeah.
I'm like, pray to whatever God it is. And
on the flight, it's like...
Yeah, you see, that's the bother. When anyone needs it, they're always like, oh God, don't let this happen to you. So yeah, no, I'm a devil. They give me an awful time for it. But do you know what I find interesting is like maybe when you come from a background, you know, you were like you said, the OG content creator. You were of the original kind of the it gals who started out on Instagram.
I refuse to die.
Well, you know what? You started with no blueprint. No one had really gone before.
It was pre-ads, pre-getting paid
like
for things.
YouTube people are making money on, but we never, like the evolution we've seen of the content creator from those days to where you are now.
It's crazy.
Did you nearly feel like you needed to shift out of fashion to find something else? Or, you know, I'd imagine it was ever changing.
Well, I think like with all my content, it's always just been very rooted in my own personal journey.
Yeah.
So I think it was just kind of something I went through myself, I suppose, you know, like you'll always, you know, I enjoy those things and aspects of life, but they're not like the most important thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas like when you were younger, it's like, oh, I want a designer bag and I want this, I want that. So yeah, I think it's just what I share has grown with me. And I think a lot of people are finding the same and they're kind of resonating with that kind of journey as well.
So you've had many reincarnations online, you could say. But
oh my God, exactly. Very nice fun. Very nice.
There you go. There you go.
You're a professional.
I'm telling you. But so what was your spiritual awakening as such?
Oh, well, do you know, when I think of it, I think I was very spiritual as a child. Like looking back, like I was one of those kids like making potions in the garden with the grass, like mushing up the grass and the mud and like,
here, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like there's a genre of like child that does that. I'm very just connected to things and feeling like everything was a bit alive, and you know, some of that may have just been like 90s stuff as well, you know, Toy Story and all of these things coming out. But definitely then, and like as I got older, it was a whole I think you just lose touch with the things that used to bring you joy. I think whether, like for me, it was like music. I used to love music, be really into music, and then I just like stopped listening to music. Okay. So I kind of like had a very sort of dull 20s, I would say. I was very settled. I was in a long-term relationship, but I really like lost myself, I think. And then sort of towards the tail end of my 20s, I want to say like 27, 28, again, like different things that happen in life to you, like big life-altering events, like breakups and things like that, can sort of spur you into remembering who you were before, or remembering like the things that you used to like, or finding your spark again, I suppose.
Yeah, totally.
So like I went through a big breakup, and like before that, it was happening before then. But yeah, it was just like a big kind of wake-up call period of my life where I was like, I don't recognize myself.
Totally.
And it also like friends really helped. You know, I was introduced to new people who really brought out that side of me as well. So I would say, yeah, kind of like tail end of my 20s into my early 30s is a big sort of return to myself, I think, and it feels really, really good. And I think lots of people are going through that as well.
Yes. I had this thought recently. I feel like I only started living when I turned 30. Yeah, like, not mad. Like my life only actually started then. I don't know.
Totally.
Yeah, what they call, the spiritual people call it, isn't it, when something like that happens, like the dark night of the soul?
Totally,
you have to have like really shy time.
Yeah.
I think I get a lot of messages all the time as well, because I went through a big breakup as well, and it's such a rite of passage for young women. And when you're in the middle of it, you think the world is ending and you're
I think it's on your own.
Oh my God, totally.
Like no one's ever experienced this exact thing.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you realise that actually you're incredibly benign and normal, because everybody goes through shit like that. But it's the best thing that can ever happen to you.
Totally.
Yeah.
What was it like for you going through all of that and having to, like, I guess, have your presence online as your brand and as your job? I imagine loads of people were so grateful that, you know, you were sharing bits and pieces, but also that can't be easy for you having a live audience and feeling...
You know what? I think I've tried to move through all of those ebbs and flows as gracefully as possible and not share too much online, like kind of let people know what's going on. But no, you know, I think my audience has always been very gracious in allowing me to change. And I will say, like, going from purely lifestyle content to talking about these very, very different topics that I'm talking about now, I've been trying to do it slowly and gradually.
Yes.
Definitely. But, you know, it is very dividing. Like, some people are just not interested in this other side, which is totally fine.
Yes.
Which is kind of why I still do both. But for the most part, I've been able to kind of like slowly transition. Yeah. And also I think it's just about being honest. I think I was like this for a long time, but I just didn't show those elements. But now that like I've seen that there's a hunger and a thirst for reconnecting with yourself, reconnecting with nature, because I just think we're all so burnt out. And even if we've got like the career, the fella, everything, it still feels like sometimes like there's something missing. And I'm finding the more and more people I'm speaking to, it's actually your connection with yourselves.
Yeah.
There's something not like, we don't pour as much into that sometimes. And I don't know, I've just been trying to, as I'm doing it in real time, I'm finding that other people are kind of wanting to know more about that as well. So
that's actually such a good point when you're saying, I feel like, as you're talking, I'm like joining a lot of dots there. Really good point. I read the book. I was the one, I was mad to get you on the podcast because I really love your stuff, and I read that book, Many Minds, Many Masters. And
Many Lives, Many Masters.
Sorry, Many Lives, Many Masters.
Similar. That's the gateway drug book, I would say.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that and then the work that you do.
Very, very similar work. Now, I will say that is such an entertaining book. Like, it's just like reading science fiction. It's so interesting. And he was kind of working with a unique case, but like that's essentially what I do. So I do a form of hypnosis. It's called QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis technique. It was developed by this lady, like super old lady, but she kind of stumbled with her husband. They were both helping war veterans with PTSD and through hypnosis. So they were just like trying to help them like soothe their trauma. Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
And they just like stumbled into this one client who just went into these like other lives, and they'd never experienced it before. They didn't know what was happening, but they were like super interested in it. And through working with this client, they developed, and clients after that, they developed this specific way of doing it. So you'll see with hypnosis, there's like hundreds of different forms of hypnosis and regression. Like, you can just do past life regression. It's a bit quicker. But this form that I do, I think what called me to it was because it's a deeply, you're not just going on this journey for like the shits and giggles. It's like a real deep healing journey. Now, you can do it for pure curiosity, and that's fine. But I find that most people that do that end up getting way more healing than they thought they would. Okay. So it's a very similar style to that book in that, you guide people, should I say, into a deep state of relaxation, because that's all hypnosis is. It's not waving anything. Yeah. It's not like what you do up on stage. It's like nothing like that. It's just a really, really deep form of relaxation. For us anyway, that do this specific technique, you have like a certain script that you follow, and for some reason it just almost always seems to work. It gets people's minds where it needs to be, because she's honed it over so many decades. So they really kind of dialed it in, and then people like me can just do it as well. So you kind of guide people into the relaxation, and then it's split up. So will I tell you like how the session goes?
Yeah,
will that help paint the picture?
Definitely do. And I want to ask one question before we go any further. Is it particularly always to past life regression? That is what you're coming to be hypnotized into experiencing?
So one of two things will happen. Yeah. So we'll get to that. So if I start at the start, someone comes into me and we chat for 2 to 3 hours. You're just telling me everything about your life, like from start to finish. And even that in itself is like quite a healing thing, because some people have never done therapy, or maybe like, the way like sessions with a therapist are usually an hour, and then you might continue your story next week.
Yeah, but 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours, as long as it takes. We say as long as it takes. Like I've never had to do longer than 3 hours with someone, but if I had to, I would. Like if they couldn't tell me their life story in that, we would keep going. So that's also why I really like it. There is no clock. I stay with the person. I hold the space as long as I need to. So it's like it's a stamina challenge for me as well. Yeah. They come in, they tell me their whole life story, everything major that's ever happened to them. Their quote unquote cast of characters. So everyone in their life, their relationship to that person. And it's up to me to interview them really well, to really kind of uncover how they feel about like a lot of these different things that have happened to them. And then we go into the hypnosis. So that's 2 hours.
Wow.
So that's 2 hours straight. And like the whole day goes so fast. This
A lot of
sounds
brain
very
work
long.
for you, I feel.
Yeah, but you know what? I sort of think I go into like a little bit of a trance
yeah.
when I'm doing
Yeah,
it
yeah.
as well. So for me, the time just goes like super,
Yeah.
super fast. So if we go in, we do the chat, takes as long as it takes. Then we do the 2 hour hypnosis. And that first hour is where we can go into past lives. It can be repressed memories. It can be a mix of both. I don't get to decide. So the kind of beautiful thing about this process is like, there's bits of it that I can never explain. There's loads of bits where I can, you know, use logic to be like, oh, they're doing that because of this or whatever. But some bits of it I can't kind of, you know, I can't explain. And one of the things is, everything that is shown in the session is completely relevant for that person. Like it's so tailored, like the information, it's not like, oh, we're doing this past life, you know, we're going to Egypt and it's a grand ride or whatever.
Yeah.
There's always such, the information is so pertinent to the person sitting in front of me and their lives today.
So how are you guys? So now I'm actually
Yeah.
going to have to talk this in the most basic sense. I'm lying down.
You're lying down, you're in
and
bed,
yeah.
or you're tucked up or you're on a couch or whatever with a little blankie on you.
I've told you my entire life story.
Yeah, we told entire life story, and I'm doing a terrible job at describing this.
No,
but-
see,
it's good.
I've read the book and Louise hasn't a
Yeah.
clue what you're talking
Yes.
about, so I know exactly what you're talking about,
Yes.
but it's hard to explain this.
Yeah, but it's good for listeners like to see.
Yeah.
to
see it
really
like that.
embody it. So
Yeah.
you're lying down,
lying on the bed,
lying on the bed, and then I start doing a like a guided meditation.
Okay.
That's all it is. You're just listening to me talk.
Yeah.
And I just got, it usually takes about 10 minutes. And then by the end of it, you're just deeply, deeply relaxed. You're like sinking into the bed.
Okay.
And then your brain is able to just start switching off. And like the goal is to get into the theta brainwave, which is where you're at, like right when you wake up and right before you go to sleep. It's like that sort of in between
Yeah.
sleep spot, but we're holding that for 2 hours instead of the few minutes that it
amazing,
usually
yeah.
takes for you to kind of like drift off. So we're holding that kind of state for a long period of time. And then after the guided meditation is done, I kind of like start asking some questions and then I kind of know how to direct. I kind of know what's going to happen then. So
And if the
usually it's a
person is
past
asleep,
life work.
the other thing, sometimes you could be in that zone and not remember what you're saying.
So it can happen like that. You may not remember anything.
Okay.
If you're a very intuitive person, and I think intuitive women tend to find me,
Yeah.
it's going to feel like you're present, but you don't know where the words are coming from. So you sort of slip into this personality of this person that you're embodying for, you know, the next. Now we try to do 3. Sometimes it's just one really long past life.
Yeah.
But it can also be repressed memories. So if the mind decides that it's more important for you to go back and visit these things that you can't remember or that were particularly important in your life from like a different perspective, we'll go there and I'll kind of guide someone through those memories and we'll kind of revisit them. But they're always really potent. They're always these like little snapshots in time that are super, super important for the person to kind of just be aware of. You know, it might have been a pivotal moment when they were 3 that really shaped how they think about death or shaped how they think about, you know, their relationship to anxiety or whatever. Maybe something happened to them and they can't remember it. So they'll do that or they'll do the past lives. And I love to do the past lives. I really do because they're always so like wild.
Okay, so can you give us an example of someone or like of a past life that someone has?
Loads, so many.
Yeah.
I've
gone
honestly,
back
I'm dying to get someone that was an alien. I'm dying. I'm still waiting for that special person to maybe do an alien one with me.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, all sorts of lifetimes. Like, you know, honestly, they're not fanciful. Like they're not, I'm a pharaoh in Egypt. Like I think that's what a lot of people think when they think, oh, I'm going to regress to somebody famous or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not usually the case. They regress to really ordinary lives, but the ordinary lives are so dramatic. Like everyone has their own drama in life. Do you know what I mean? Even somebody's, you know, quote unquote boring life is in itself quite interesting. Like what makes a boring life or,
totally.
You know.
And but it's funny, especially as Irish people, this is something, you know, we watch like things like Bridgerton and stuff like that and you think that you're going to be like, you know, living this
Glamorous.
lads,
Hardly
no.
ever glamorous.
Yeah, absolutely not. Especially if you're like Irish, you would have been the poor old crate or cleaning out the toilets or changing the chamber pots. Do you know, so we have this glamour notion of thing. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing as well that I think really sort of, again, it's sort of a bit that you can't, trying to apply logic to it because you would think if you had the choice to pick what you're going to like go into. You'd pick something glamorous or you'd pick something really enjoyable. But actually, like, I'm going into very difficult scenarios that are people lives are, you know, I'm hunter-gatherer people, you know, very lonely types, people with tragedy and trauma. And, you know, like, you know, I've had one lady who, like, you know, I watched her poison herself because she like hated her husband, you know, like mad things like that. I've had somebody that's been a star and like seeing, it's like the perspective is been a star, been gaseous material, a bear, there was another animal. I had another animal recently. But what is really
so sorry.
Yeah.
When they're in the zone telling you this, is it like what do they say?
Because it's literally like you're just viewing life from the perspective of whoever is coming to the forefront.
They're describing something to her.
I know that.
It's a therapy session.
But I'm saying, like, you know, for the person that is doing the therapy, you really, I wouldn't imagine that everybody could go there. You know what I mean? You know?
There's a form of therapy. I did it when I went to therapy of like where it's like the new, instead of doing CBT, it's like this supposedly the most impactful way of therapy, and like they get you to distract by using your eyes to like.
Oh, I did that one. EMDR.
Yeah. And like all and like you're just talking, and it's like kind of distracting when you're talking. Yeah, because like if you're in and you're like constantly thinking of like, what am I going to say? Like your ego's in the way, so you're saying, you know, you want to portray a certain vision of yourself. So this is totally switched. Like it's your
you're bypassing certain parts of your.
And well, I guess my question is like, even the cynics and the egotists and all, can they move beyond that?
Oh, totally. It's like anyone can be hypnotized. Anyone can be hypnotized.
You have to really, surrender to it.
There's loads of cynics that get it done. And they're like, well, I can't explain the experience I had, but I had it anyway.
Yeah.
And I say to people, like, you don't need to even believe in the past lives. Like, I think whether you believe in it or not, your mind's just taken me on a feckin' adventure. And all the adventure you've gone on has so many important things and like different awarenesses that are going to help you live a better life in like as you know, in your everyday life. So it's not even whether you believe in it or not, but it's the information that comes through that's so good and so helpful.
So healing,
Yeah. So I always say, like, you don't need to be a big believer to have an experience. And
Is there any session that stands out to you that, you know, you took something from that, or lessons that you've learned that are applicable to your own life and that have changed your perspective?
Unfortunately, like when you do this, you can't ignore your own stuff. Okay. Definitely. So like my clients like teach me all the time, which makes it such like interesting work to do. But I think definitely in terms of a lot of women are anxious and depressed, and seeing like what the source of their anxiety and their depression is really has like opened my eyes in terms of like, I'm just able to spot things now in my own life or spot different patterns or just see things with the lens of what I've learned through sessions. So like, for example, I think a big one for women is when it comes to the anxiety and the depression, the answers that they give me, because, okay, for that hypnosis session for the 2 hours, we're doing that past life stuff for the first hour. And it's actually just to get you to the second hour. So it doesn't even really necessarily matter what happens in the past life portion. We're actually doing it to get to the second hour, which is called like the higher self chat. Yes. So it's almost like speaking to your soul without the filter of the ego on top of it. So like if you've ever gotten like an intuitive thought or heard an intuitive voice in your mind, it's like connecting straight to that bit. So people will bring questions about their lives, like where they feel blocked, like why they have certain types of dynamics, relationship-wise with certain people maybe in their family. So really I'm just trying to get to the last bit where I can get to ask all of their questions and things like that. But through working with people, like for example, anxiety, depression comes up a lot. Like they always say the same thing. It's about not expressing your creativity. Like creativity is something that we're all born with. It's not just arts and crafts and painting or whatever. It's whatever you're good at, whatever makes you feel like alive and makes you feel like you're contributing something beautiful to the world, whatever that may be. But a lot of women just don't prioritize tapping in with that. So it's causing a lot of, it's energy, like it needs to move through you. And when you don't give it like an outlet, it gets very stagnant and you feel very heavy. And that's when you start to get like the anxiety and like the depressive energies and stuff like that. So in terms of that, they just teach me all the time. And now when I kind of like see myself going into that mode, I'm like, all right, I know. I need to start like expressing myself more authentically.
Do you know what's so funny? Me and Tara went down to go get coffees, and I was telling her about these weird, they have these weird witchy flashes.
Yeah.
And I was saying to her, and she's like, oh, maybe it's your intuition, like figuring out something that's going to happen in the future. All of that you just said there, I took a screenshot of a piece last night that expressed that about like how, I'll see if I have my phone, I can read it out to you. It's just bizarre that you said it.
Yeah.
And I read through it like 3 or 4 times last
goosebumps.
night before I went to sleep.
Goosebumps.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know where...
Do
Anyway,
get your phone.
yeah, I'll get my
It must
phone and
be-
show it to you. Sorry, that's what...
I was going to ask while she's getting her phone, do you ever come up against someone who just gets a block and can't go there?
Totally. Like out of I've been doing it for 2.5 years, and there's been 3 people ever that I haven't, we haven't gone all the way with it.
Yeah.
And part of that was just me not being experienced enough to like handle that situation and read certain cues and body language, because like a lot of it, there's like different cues I'm watching out for as I'm doing things, and it just comes down to lack of experience, I would say.
Yeah.
But I will say, so you don't have to be the most open. Like you don't have to believe in anything that we're going to do or anything like that. But if you are super closed off to the experience, it's going to be a lot harder. Yeah. Like if, for example, I had someone and they were saying the whole week in their minds, like they weren't saying to me, but I knew then, I found out later on that they were closed off to the experience. They were like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Your mind is always going to protect you. So if you don't feel like held and safe going into it, it's okay to be a bit anxious. Like you're going to do something you've never done before. You're going to be a bit like, ooh, what's going to happen type of thing. But if you don't feel like you trust yourself enough to go into it, or you don't feel safe, or I don't make you feel safe enough, or you don't feel safe with me, then it's not going to be a very easy experience. No, but for the most part, almost everyone will go down. Yeah.
You have a very calming, though, energy, a kind of aura.
I've had a matcha now. I feel like I'm a bit like jittery. I'm actually decaf girly now, so I'm a little...
No, but even when I watch you online, you're just very... I don't know. You just are very kind of calming.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. So that would really make
People tend
sense.
to trust me with their secrets.
Yeah,
I will say
I can
that's
absolutely
something I've
see that.
noticed. Like people find it really easy to tell me their secrets.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. I'd say now if I sat down and had a drink with you, Jesus, you'd have it all. You'd have it all.
Get to
in
down
an
for the
hour.
QHHD at some point.
Oh my God, I'd love that.
I wanted to ask Tara, like in your family, is this something that have you always been drawn to, like being spiritual, having conversations like this,
Yeah.
Did it feel natural for you
always-
to go down this route?
I love having these types of conversations with people. Like not weirder the conversation, but like I don't care about the weather and I don't care about sports. But like
So there
give
with
me
you,
a chat like this any day of the week and like tell me about your weird niche interests, and I'm like I'm all over it.
We had this conversation before. I'm so the exact same. I just want to get...
I'm just like...
Put your head open and see what's happening. Yeah.
So no, I would say that I've kind of always been like that, but no one in my family that I know of, like it feels like a very, not a black sheepy thing, but my mom or my dad wouldn't necessarily be. And maybe the reason I am kind of feel like I've found my own spirituality and beliefs, because I always said like spirituality is just a relationship with yourself. Like it's not doing witchy things or, dressing a certain way or talking about certain things. Spirituality is your relationship with yourself. Like that's all it is at the end of the day. But yeah, like my mom was raised Catholic, my dad was raised Muslim, but they didn't give me either. Like they didn't, like, I made my communion and my confirmation and all that, got the bag, but they didn't sort of, they let me create my own world.
Okay.
And I think that was really, really helpful, because I kind of got to choose later on in life, like what the spirituality meant to me, I think. So yeah, it's a bit like, it's kind of a funny one. I'm still getting used to like talking with my family, not my slightly more extended family, about like, this is sort of what I do.
Did you feel though, like, because I know this is something Darren you would say as well, that like you, maybe gift sounds like a dirty word to say, but that you had something in you, like you had a gift, or you had a way of, helping people or releasing things in people, or seeing things from a different perspective that, did you always know you had that in you?
I think we all do. I think especially if you're a woman, I just think you're born with so much innate like psychic gifts. But I wouldn't have said I noticed anything, but I would have always considered myself fairly intuitive in that I always followed. I think I'm always in the right place. Like, I don't think I deny my intuitive voice. And I think the older I got, I realized how many people do ignore their intuitive voice and don't try the things that I feel like their spirit or their soul is wanting them to try. Whereas I've never really, I thought everyone was like that. But then, as I got older, I realized it's actually it's a difficult thing to do. So I try to, I guess, not tell people how to live lives, but by me living my life, I think something I've noticed and like the feedback I've gotten is by watching me live a life that I'm pleased with and happy with, it inspires other people to find what that is for them. So I find, I try in everything that I do, I think that that's at the core of it, is guiding women back to themselves, I think, or finding their own inner guide.
Yeah. But that, I think you're maybe doing yourself a bit of a disservice, because I don't know many people who could sit down for 3 hours, take in somebody's whole life story, like make them feel safe for that length of time, and then sit down and do a 2-hour session on top. Like, that's a real gift now that I don't know. Like, therapists wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? So that is a real, that's a real gift.
Yeah, but it's, like I said, like it took me, until 30 to find that.
Yeah.
And I was definitely stumbling in terms of like, oh, what could I do? And I was like, I'm into my holistic, but it's like, will I do the nutrition, or will I go back and do psychology or whatever? But like, when you find your thing, but like, I always find that whatever gives you energy, like now I do a session and I could be in there for 5 or 6 hours with someone, but I'm not tired afterwards. Like, it's like invigorating for me to do it. And that's how, now it wasn't at the start, like there definitely is a little bit of stamina, and I sort of had to learn some energetic boundaries because I am a very like sensitive and empathetic person. So, when you're hearing people's traumas, sometimes you're like, you're getting watery eyed and you're getting teary eyed, and you're like, oh, I need to like sort of ground this and be like as professional as possible by not almost showing, getting swept up in the emotions. It's not that I'm unemotional, but just not, crying there with them. Otherwise, I kind of need to keep some professionalism. But like you said, it sounds like a long time, but when I'm in it now, I'm in flow state, and I'm just like, okay, I'm using the parts of my mind that really like to light up. Like, I'm a very curious person. So when someone goes into a past life, I always describe it in my Modern Mystic talks, that game where you put like a celebrity's name on your forehead and you're asking a series of questions. It's like that with the past life. So very, very quickly, I have to figure out who they are, what's been happening to them, what the big major points are, and how it applies to the person lying down in front of me. So it's like a really fast version of that. So
and are you like taking notes? Like, I imagine that you're like,
no.
It's
like, if there's something important that I want to go back and ask later, I'll write it down quickly. But usually throughout the whole session, you don't write. You just are very like present. And there's a lot of, you do really actively use your intuitive minds to ask the right questions as well. I think that's like a really big part of it, is knowing how to guide the session intuitively, because every single person's going to come in and have a different experience. So you have to adapt, I would say, pretty quickly.
Well, that was my next question for you, is how are you at reading people? Like, are people's energies?
Better. Definitely better. One thing I'd say I'm good at is I think I can see people's what's the word? Intentions really clearly. Like right off the bat.
Yeah.
I know if you're like disingenuous or genuous. Like, and I think a lot of people will have that, but I don't know. I feel like I'll get information about where they're going or what they should be doing really quickly. But I obviously don't say it to people, but I definitely do think, I kind of, is the word mayfainer? Yeah. My mom used to use that word. She's some Cork woman now, but
So what would be a good bit of advice you'd have for listeners of ours who maybe feel, I don't know, that they do have that really in themselves and it's bursting to come out, but they don't know how to express it, or they want to learn more about that kind of thing, or how can they break the mold a little bit?
Well, I always just it depends what your goal is. Like, if your goal is to increase your intuition or trust it more, I just look at it as like a game. Like, how far can you take the game in terms of how much faith can you put into something, and will it respond back? So, if you, I always say look, take an entire day off, and instead of saying, all right, it's my day off, I should do the grocery shop, I should do the washing or whatever, just go step by step, be like, what do I want to do right now? Do I want to have a hamburger for breakfast? Do I want to go to the art gallery that I've been wanting to go to for weeks? Like, just actually ask yourself, what do I want to do right now? Like, right this second. Take away all the shoulds, whatever, all of the obligations, whatever you think you have to do, or practical things. Just give yourself the day, walk out the door, go to the first thing. When you're there, ask yourself again, like, where do I want to go next? Like, and you'll find that if you spend one day doing that, your inner you'll know what it sounds like for a start, because your intuition it does have a certain voice in your mind. It's not like the ego mind where it's like the loud roommate and the intrusive thoughts. It's a way more calm, assertive inner voice. And if you just went through your whole day like that, you'll find that you've had the best day ever. Actually had the best day ever, and you come home feeling so just like, oh, like I did all the things I wanted to do, and then you realize how often you don't do that.
Yes.
But in that sort of exercise, you kind of reconnect with your inner voice a little bit more, and then you can kind of carry that through your week then.
Do you know what? I'm thinking that I'd be the person that would start, right? And I'd be like, okay, what am I going to do? And the first thing I'd be like, I'd text someone like Darren and be like, pints? But is that my intuitive day down the Swanee then?
But that's totally fine. You know, if that brings you like joy and happiness and laughs, then like do that.
But it should the best experiment, it should be you by yourself.
It's a good way to kind of just, if you really don't know where to start, and then if you do have a gift, like maybe like there's different psychic senses, for example, you know, maybe you know something is going to happen, or maybe you get like a gut feeling about something, just like talk to your body and say like, oh, I got that right, that was really cool, I want to do more of that. Like, it's just kind of bringing some awareness to be like, oh, that was kind of slay. Like, for example, I always say like, I don't want to see dead people, but I do want to like really be super intuitive. And I do want to have like a very strong, like those type of senses I'm very open to. But just like whatever it is that you want to get better at, like just communicate that to your body, like say it out loud, or be like, oh, or like if you've picked up that you're good at something, just bring the awareness to it, and then be like, okay, I want to get better at this. And you find like you will have like little scenarios where it's like a muscle that you flex. It's like,
okay. That a really good point that came up there is, I think we don't spend enough time by ourselves. And I think that it's really difficult. Like, if you don't spend concentrated time by yourself, spend a day by yourself, don't talk to anybody else, don't be on your phone. Like,
the fucking phone,
It's amazing how many people can't do that.
Totally. I mean, I was living by myself for years in New York, so I think I had loads of time to like hone that. But it is like so important. I think Irish people are a bit afraid to be left with their own thoughts.
It's mad, isn't it?
Totally,
That's just running away from yourself and your own.
It'll always catch up with you as well. So that's what I really like about the hypnosis. We really kind of get into some of those, like, all right, what are you running away from? And like, can we just like sit with it and make it less scary?
Yeah.
You know? So.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if people want to get in touch with you and maybe book in for something like that, or also tell us about your deadly cards that are flat.
Yes, I didn't bring a deck with me, but you know, with the power of post-production, hopefully you'll see them. I'll send some pictures on. Yeah, so I think again, like I said, everything I do is quite connected. So, you know, I know that not everyone gets an opportunity to do hypnosis or to, so I wanted to kind of create something that was like an easy everyday thing that you could use. And, you know, as a fan of like, again, like my witchy side is I love tarot cards. I love like bits like that. So but I found like they were just really inaccessible for people. Like, it takes a really long time to learn your way around tarot cards and like the symbolism and the artwork and the meanings. And I just kind of wanted to cut straight to the chase and be like, what's the message? Like, what do I need to know today? Type of thing. So, and as well with all of my work with women and working with them one-on-one, like the same sort of, you know, we're all actually going on a very similar journey. Like, the things that might happen are different, but our pain and our grief and all of that, it's not unique. It's like how we experience it is unique, but the actual, like, we all go through it and we all experience it. So I kind of wanted to make something that felt like the hug of an affirmation card, but also like gave some advice on like how to move forward from this exact moment that you're in now, like what would be helpful for you. So it's like a blend of tarot, affirmation cards, and just like guidance on what would be helpful for you today. So like, even if there was like a card and it's giving you a message for the day. But then there's also like, there's always an action, like, you know, it'd be really great for you to go out for a walk today, or it'd be really great for you to journal about this topic today, so that you do just give yourself permission to take a bit of time to have that reflection moment, because when you do, you kind of break the loop of your thinking. And I just find that it really just helps. I don't know. I think we all just, I'm someone that finds a lot of comfort in getting like a what feels like a little hug or a message from the universe every day.
Totally.
Oh, but I was,
totally.
We're your soul sister.
So,
Well, that's a really, really great.
I'll make sure you all get a copy now. I was meant to bring some with me, but I didn't bring them.
Oh, classic. But look, I'll leave it off. I'm going to show you. So I flew home from London last night.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
And I screenshot this and I read it the whole way. But I was like, kept rereading it on the flight home, was just thinking about it. So you made that point about that the main thing that comes in for women is creativity. Now, I hadn't thought of this before, but people who have a creative side and do not live it out are most disagreeable. Marie-Louise von France once said, they make a mountain out of a molehill, fuss about unnecessary things, are too passionately in love with somebody who is not worth so much attention, and so on. There is a kind of floating charge of energy in them which is not attached to its right object, and therefore tends to apply exaggerated dynamism to the wrong situation.
This is it.
Isn't that so gas? And I was like sitting ruminating over that, and then that's what you came out.
And it's so funny because like I'm finding that so many things, whether you're into science, whether you're into it's all just a different language for the same thing. Like we're all getting to the same conclusions, but we're just relating to our own little communities in our own little ways. So, you know, Carl Jung is saying the same thing that I'm saying.
Totally.
You know? So
yeah.
It's,
you're just hotter and more red. Okay.
No, but like it really is. It's so true. And just helping women reconnect with that and seeing that it is possible even in a busy life, and that you should prioritize it literally as, you know, a form of medicine. Like it's really something that we don't give ourselves.
Your soul, feed your soul,
Totally. It's like what we're here to do, you know?
Yeah. Well, Gurmaga, Tara, you are helping us re-wake our intuition, and I think we'll have to come back to you again and help you reawaken your relationship with Gairge.
Oh, I know. This is honestly a dream of mine. Like, I actually was thinking of sometimes apparently you can do hypnosis, my style, and learn languages in it.
Amazing.
Some people have used it to learn languages.
Incredible.
So I don't know, maybe I'll have to tap into that.
Jane should.
Yeah.
We should do an experiment.
I know.
Wasn't there a thing with lucid dreaming? They did a study about people with lucid dreaming. I lucid dream a lot, and like they got people to exercise while lucid dreaming, and they actually found they would put people into a lucid dreaming state, and they actually found that people who were practicing squats and stuff, they could measure the improvement with the amount of weights that they could lift because they were practicing when they were lucid dreaming. So it's insane the power that our mind has.
Frightening.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
I'm going to take from that I'm going to get the arse of my dreams in my sleep. Let's make it happen. Hypnotise.
It all starts
Hypnotise me a
girl,
nice
any
little
days. Yes.
Gorgeous.
Gurmíl
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Chat all and sin na Tara gur míle mága Tara and nach das glór Kirkiach a bheith agan bod nich sa ríis. Just a nich sa ríis.
Tell you,
It's lór sin.
We'll leave the owl rebel in from time to time. Did you
Yeah.
enjoy that now, the past life regression? Were you a little bit cynical, were you?
Yeah, rud beag, but again, kinda like on rud a dúirtí no, it's not about the past life stuff. It's getting past that to digging deeper sa duine. So, you know, it's
I guess it's a form of therapy, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Just a firm
Absolutely, yeah. And like it's obviously bailach le kind of tuma is jock on it féin agus leir faoi stuff nach meallta ag leir faoi de gná. So I like, and it sounds like people are really grateful to her Haitian session.
Kate von Kate, absolutely.
Yeah,
You
well,
were
I
bare-
liked when she was like, I can't wait for someone to come back as an alien. I was like, I will be like, I wish she could record these as live podcasts and put them out. I'd so
know.
listen to someone coming back as an alien. Are there aliens? I don't know. I want to know. TarMarz, find out.
Well, absolutely, and follow her online for more to keep up to date, and even maybe to book your session.
Absolutely.
You know, well, gluish na seachtainna going on tachta.
Tá agus buineann sé leis an chat ar fád a bhí agan le TarMarz. So bhí si léir dar nóí annacuid faoi na past life regressions. Agus tá gailge ar past life regressions. It's Cúlú ear heel.
Wow,
There you go.
there you go. Yeah, cool.
What would you have been in a past life, Louise?
Oh, I feel like probably something annoying. I'd like to think I was a singer. I sometimes think.
No, do you know what?
No,
I
do.
think it would be only fair if you were a singer.
I thought you were going to say if I was a poof and bring it back to the top of the app.
No, at some point in your existence that you were a singer.
I think so, right? And I think it's like getting the good weather. It's like that song. What is it?
It's like rain on your wedding day.
It's ironic. I bet you there's something like, I bet you I was a singer and then it was like, you can't bring that into this life with you because you were so good at it in the last life.
No,
So-
I'm just rather like, I think the Misha H on a year should Danny like nail to code on a shin egg and gonna. I just use
Girls.
it to rip the piss out of you.
To say that I have a marked improvement, like,
Oh yeah.
I'm actually
Yeah.
getting good.
No,
I have actually new song in the works.
Rogunashin. I just need something to slag you about.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
It's like rain
Go on.
on your wedding day.
Leonard.
It's something about a fork when you use a spoon, isn't it?
No.
No?
Don't think that's
There's
quite
nothing
what
like
Alanis
that.
Morissette had in mind.
Anyway.
Yeah, Lana Midorike.
Do you know what? I'll do the full version for your Patreon. Focalela, hypnos, tá gailnear hypnos comá.
It's hypnosis.
Hypnos, yeah. Hypnosis, sorry, is hypnos.
Sure.
Agus, bhí TarMarz ag leabhart anna chuid faoin intuition. We know our own third is a great woman for the intuition and the goile and the gosh and all of that as well. So, almost maná intin the man is the female intuition.
Sinead.
Yeah.
Yups agus yucks.
Go on.
Well, you had the yup.
Yeah, I had a yup. Oh my God, I've a great yup for you. Sorry, and féidir just show. Kaime saw oil on my phone. So I saw this and I thought it'd be a bit of you, me and Darren, right?
Okay.
I don't know, will tú gnohach an sao and show Elaine Lanscott.
Yeah, by making a rock this.
Oh,
In El Fersta. Yeah.
Well, sure, chance my Michelle come on. Well, Mona will do Dollar and rock this. Here might be something a little, cool, out of the ordinary for the witches in your life. I just love this when I saw Darlene, right? This Samhain, witches, you can dress up as a witch and you can go paddleboarding on Mullingar's Royal Canal. There's actually a picture. We can put it in the show.
Now, hold on. Let's take your Cúpa Conas a tashi gleiste.
Mar chailech.
But like,
I know.
I want the plastic fingers with the nails that I used to have when I was a child. They're my favourite part of the hauna. Fina Mera gloss, Fina hingana darug.
Agus an raibh she'd glow in the dark coma.
I know these ones weren't glow in the dark. These were old school, but like they were like warty and wrinkly, and it was like I think that was my first taste of like acrylics.
Yeah. I know, and they'd slot all the way into like the mid knuckle.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they? And they were
So
just
glamorous, like.
so glam. Yeah, now I'd take Milkshake Dakar on sort paddleboard aura úsáid leis na hinga sin, but girl, absolutely all you need is your little hata, a cape. Do you know what? The nails,
Bin
a
bag.
black bin bag,
Sorted.
little broom. Oh no, sure, your broom is your oar.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of witches like tearing down the Royal Canal in Mullingar and
Is it the Royal Canal that goes through Mullingar?
The Royal Canal, yeah. Do you want to verse that?
Yeah, go on.
Iachna seachtainna. Well,
Iachna seachtainna, a corda, tá, taucán, an taucán uachtaránachta arsúil an seachtain seo. And if you don't vote, that's a yuck. That's a yuck.
Absolutely. Bhualas le duine agant le déine nach raibh fiú chlóratha. So like, come on, that's even yuckier again.
Yeah. Okay, note the shin. Gur míle mágad fáilte Ireland as at the end of Aaron Bud Creile Shop, Mars Ganach.
And we'll see ya on Tachtain Shachuan or at the Galway Comedy Fest.
Le Cúnamh Broad Day.
Bring your poofs. Slán!